Welcome to the fire, my friend. You might be wondering why I called you here. We're in need of a person with your special talents, like in this following story. How to Screw Up a Well-Planned Heist, Part 1, r/D&D Stories, posted by Ovasser. This happened about 5 months ago in our campaign. Looking back, it's absolutely hilarious how quickly things spiraled out of control. I think I will end up splitting this into 2 or maybe 3 parts, because it's so long. DM, generally fair, but an avid house rule maker, definitely believes in having major long-lasting consequences to player character actions. Me, a human wizard, the brains of the group, and always tries to avoid conflict, has an owl familiar. Warlock, the socially awkward one in real life who is an 18 charisma Asimar in the game, makes for some interesting moments, could definitely use more common sense as proven in this story. But we love him anyway, no hate please. Rogue. Sneaky tiefling does his job well, which in this case is to steal things. Too bad he got royally screwed over in this instance. Ranger. Not the smartest, but always handy to bring with you for the pass without trace effect in a high situation. An elf if you were interested. Cleric. Orange tiefling who doesn't really make it into the first part of the story since he was at the base camp for most of it. But he used create food and water to make himself a mound of hot pockets to sleep in, and I feel the need to tell the internet this fact. So, the setting of this story is an ancient city that is being dug up and studied by a group of mages called the Merlage Order. Our party had been hired by Felch, a crime boss in a nearby city, to go to this dig site, look for magical artifacts that might have been uncovered, and bring them back to him. Obviously, this was to be a stealth mission because the Merlage Order wouldn't just let us walk in and take things. If we were caught, we would probably be put to death. But we were earning a lot of gold for the job, so high stakes for high rewards. Our plan was fairly simple. We would wait until nightfall, and then the rogue, ranger, warlock, and myself would sneak into the dig site to hunt for artifacts. The cleric was not coming because he had bad stealth, and had burned out a lot of spells already. Hot pockets! We had one building to look at in particular, some kind of ancient library or something, that we knew wasn't finished being studied, so we snuck past the patrols and up to where we would see the building. Easy enough, due to the ranger's pass without trace. The next phase of the plan went into action. We sent the rogue and the ranger inside because they had the best stealth, while the warlock and myself stayed outside to run interference with spells and high charisma should it become necessary. It was all going fine so far. The rogue even managed to pull out a pane of glass from a window and carefully set it on the ground so they could sneak in with minimal noise. Don't ask me why there was still intact glass in an ancient building, but there was. And then the warlock had a big brain moment. For whatever reason, he decided that he was worried about the ranger and the rogue, so he did the logical thing and followed them, despite my clear and utter disapproval of the idea. And because he was now out of the ranger's spell radius, his stealth had gone to crap. And of course, because this is exactly the time for such a roll, he gets a natural 1 on the stealth. The DM rules that he steps on the aforementioned pane of glass and shatters it, drawing a bunch of guards to his position. Cue the massive facepalm from the entire group. So I hide myself as best I can and use my owl familiar to keep an eye on the situation from the sky. The rogue and the ranger make their escape from the building and end up being separated in their attempt to be hidden. And the warlock decides to make a run for it into the building and climb up to the roof. He's being shot at with crossbows and has basically cornered himself. And now the crowning moment of this tale. Since the warlock is an Asimar, he has the ability to grow a pair of wings and fly for 1 minute each day. He decides to use that ability right now. Unfortunately, this flying ability also has a side effect of making him into a glowing beacon of bright light. Cue the biggest facepalm in the history of facepalms from everyone, including the DM. So now the warlock is flying over the dig site, drawing the attention of anyone who has eyes, even those who don't have dark vision. He makes it a good distance before the minute runs out and he drops to the ground to run. He ends up running out of the entire dig site and all the way back up the road to the little village nearby while being chased by about 20 guards and a magic user or two. Meanwhile, the entire dig site is on high alert and has blocked off all exits, meaning that the rest of us, who are all separated, can't get out. This is the end of part 1 of the story. I hope you enjoyed reading. Even when you have the perfect plan, usually someone ends up screwing it all up for everyone else. Oof. Hope they have a plan B. And that's our story. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button for more future content. Also, if you would kindly follow the socials posted in the description, that would be amazing. As always, be good, be great, be awesome.